Hey guys, how's it going? Just thought I'd get around to reviewing a figure I've actually had for quite a long time, just never got around to reviewing him yet because honestly, out of all of the masterpieces, this one is kind of my least favorite because he does have some issues. And of course, I am talking, as you can see in the video here, about the Hasbro release of Masterpiece Hot Rod or Rodimus Prime or really whatever you want to call him. There's a number of issues with this figure that aren't present in the other masterpieces that, in my opinion, do detract from the toy in some fairly significant ways. First one being, might be a little obvious here on the camera. I don't really like the way his head, front section / hood section sits against his arms there. That's just not very good integration, because usually on a masterpiece it'd be a little smoother than that. These stickers here, I guess that's my own fault for putting these stickers on his upper pieces of his arm without thinking how that would look in the transformation. In fact, you can see those does detract a little bit from it, but maybe they shouldn't have shipped the stickers, who knows. Anyway, another thing I don't really like here is this big gap in between the canopy here and the arm piece, and there's no way that I've been able to find to eliminate that gap. Plus he's got really low clearance. I mean, overall the vehicle mode does look pretty good. I mean, it is pretty faithful to the cartoon. It's not terrible, but for a masterpiece toy, honestly, I have pretty high expectations for him, honestly, and this is really the only one that I feel so far hasn't really lived up to what those expectations are for a masterpiece. Now, he does have a few neat features in this mode. His canopy here can pop up, which is pretty neat. I like that a lot, and there's some good detail here. Let me go ahead and zoom in for you. There underneath the canopy, which is pretty cool. That's a really nice touch. I do like that quite a bit, actually. I'll go ahead and shut the canopy there. His engine can move, which is kind of neat. I like that. That's a nice homage to in the movie when he'd rev his engine and would go like, that was pretty cool. You can also pop in his Target Master, or really any of his guns, and which is pretty cool. So here's his Target Master here, and it just pegs, okay, maybe. Alright, let me check one of his other guns here. Of course, got to have some problems with this. Let me just get that rifle apart there, and it should peg. There we go. That's better. It pegs right in there, and that does look pretty cool, I've got to admit. Overall, vehicle mode, I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10, which for a masterpiece is kind of poor. That's a poor score for a masterpiece, really, in either mode. A 6 is for a masterpiece that generally. And another thing about them that I don't like in vehicle mode is these pieces here on the bottom tend to be very floppy. They don't like to stay in. This is a well-known issue with this figure. That's kind of a problem. And whatever, I'll just set them down. Anyway, I'll go ahead and get him next to a few other hot rods and Rodimuses throughout the years. Here he is next to G1 Hot Rod, and I have to say, I think G1 Hot Rod looks a heck of a lot better in vehicle mode. It's got clean lines, he's not floppy, just real nice. And then we have this awesome Classics Reveal the Shield Hot Rod right next to him, and that is just one really, really nice hot rod as well. And I'll go ahead and grab another one of his counterparts there. G1 Rodimus Prime, really nice. And lastly, just for fun here, Energon Rodimus. So that's the whole family of them that I have. And he looks really good, you know, lined up with the rest of his kin there. So I'll just go ahead and get them out of the way. And another thing about this hot rod that I'm a little confused about is scale-wise where he fits in, at least in vehicle mode, because you put him next to MP10, which is kind of how they've scaled all of the other recent masterpieces, and he's much too big to be in scale with MP10. Just really not there, at least in vehicle mode. Again, most of his issues are in vehicle mode. I'll be getting to his robot mode, obviously, but most of my problems with the figure are with his vehicle mode. Here's MP01, and he's a little bit better with him, but still a little on the large size compared to him, because really, in my opinion, MP01 scales really well with alternators, and as you can see, he's a lot bigger than alternator Prowl there, so he's not really in great scale with MP01 either. So that's just a few. I mean, there's definitely issues with him. Plus, to be quite frank, his transformation's a complete pain in the ass. Very fiddly. It's not precise, and it's difficult. It's just. I know a lot of people out there like complex transformations, and to me, complexity just for complexity's sake isn't a good trait in a transformer. Overly complex transformations, I think, are a pain in the butt. I'm not saying that, you know, they need to transform in just 2 steps, but, you know, to me, a good transformation is something like, you know, some of the other masterpieces like MP01 and MP10. I think both of those Optimuses have great transformations. I think Masterpiece Sideswipe has a great transformation. Just like that. I'd say those are real nice, satisfying transformations, but not overly complicated, whereas this guy is just kind of a fiddly mess transforming him. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause here and get this guy into robot mode, and then we'll check that out. Okay, guys, here I have Masterpiece Hot Rod transformed into his robot mode. And I have to say, I think his robot mode actually looks pretty awesome. For the most part, it looks really nice. Very great mix of the cartoon and toy model right here. Now, I'll go ahead and start off just with a few size comparisons. Here he is next to MP01, which again, I know in the vehicle mode portion I said I wasn't sure who he was supposed to be in scale with. And as you can see, MP01 kind of dwarfs him, but you know, if he's Hot Rod, MP01 should be a lot larger than him. You know, since he would be like an Autobot car compared to Optimus, he'd definitely be smaller. But if you think of him as Rodimus Prime, then MP10 here actually is scaled much better because they're pretty close to the same height, and when you transform him, and I use that term very loosely, into Rodimus Prime from Hot Rod, he's much closer in height to the MP10 mold. So if he's the leader of the Autobots, maybe he should be about the same size as Optimus. I'll go ahead and move MP10 just off to the side here a little bit, and we'll do a comparison after I transform him to Rodimus Prime. This right here is actually his, quote, Hot Rod mode. And you know, it looks pretty good for the most part. Now, what I don't like about the way this looks is the backpack there. That is honestly pretty ugly. But overall, honestly, it looks pretty darn nice. Now, I'm going to go ahead and, again, I use this term rather loosely, transform him into Rodimus Prime. I'm going to go ahead, though, and zoom in on his face, though, because that is the most critical aspect of the transformation. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here, so you can see the Hot Rod face, and that looks pretty great, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and start off by, see if we can do this smoothly. Oh, okay, that went pretty smooth. The Rodimus face just pops out. Just fold back the Hot Rod face, and again, now of course it's going to give me troubles because I'm on camera, naturally. Come on. Oh, just bear with me, guys. There we go. Alright. Now we have the Rodimus face, which as you can see is significantly different from the Hot Rod face. That's by far the most significant difference between the two. Also, and this is going to be a very subtle change here, guys. His fin there, you can see it's down. To convert that to Rodimus mode, you push it up, and now it's up a little bit more. And kind of the last step here, I'm going to zoom out so you can see his whole body a little bit better here. Is basically you make him a little bit taller, and you do that by lifting up his front skirt there, and you kind of just twist the legs down a little bit on these joints here, and it makes him, oh, come on, there we go. It makes him slightly taller, so now he's, quote, Rodimus Prime instead of Hot Rod. And that's it. That's the transformation from Hot Rod to Rodimus Prime. And there is you can tell a difference in the figure. It's not huge, and the most significant difference, of course, is the face, the actual body. But it does put him pretty even with MP10 height-wise. So if you're thinking of this guy as Rodimus Prime rather than Hot Rod, he scales really great with MP10. So that's something, right? So I'll go ahead and put MP10 down here. And I'll go ahead and focus in just on Rodimus Prime, or Hot Rod now. And he's loaded down with articulation, but he has stability problems. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, he's got foot pivot, you know, forward and back. Doesn't really go side to side. Bends, and does he rotate? Oh, he bends at the knee, and he rotates, I guess, on his lower, like on his shin there. It's not actually on his knee, but it does rotate like on his shin. His legs, of course, go forward, back, in, out. Rotate there at the top of the leg. He does have waist rotation, shoulder rotation, in and out at the shoulder, bends at the elbow, rotates at the elbow. He's got his four fingers here, one piece, and his thumb's a separate piece. The way his hands are actually cause issues with him holding his weapons, which kind of, he doesn't hold his weapons all that well, which really kind of sucks, actually. And his head is well articulated. It's on a ball joint and go all sorts of directions. One cool thing that he does have is he has a built-in, let's get this here. He has a matrix chamber for a very small matrix. That's pretty neat. So all in all, this guy in robot mode, he looks really good. I mean, at least from the front. You know, the appearance of him is really good. Functionality is, again, not the best. And in a Masterpiece toy, that's a problem. He's, you know, a great display piece, but a horrible fiddle with it toy. That's the bottom line with this guy. I'll go ahead and show off the rest of his accessories real quick here. He comes with the spinning blade of doom from the movie, and to utilize that, you just pop his arm panel there, twist in his fist, and just bear with me, guys. Oh, crud. Sorry about this, guys. Thanks for putting up with this. There we go. Folds in, you get the little, and this can go on either arm, and you just kind of plug it in. Sorry for this crude presentation, guys. And there it is. He's got his spinning blade of death that he used to free Cup in the movie. So that's kind of neat that he comes with that. He also does come with another piece that he used to repair Cup, but again, that's in a box. So I'm not going to dig that thing out just to show that off. It's a very minor piece of the toy. And his guns, he comes with 2 guns. And you can utilize them in one of 2 ways. I'm sorry, actually he comes with 3 guns. One of them's a Target Master. He comes with these 2 guns. These are pistols, basically that Hot Rod had. And they can actually combine. Oops, come on. They can combine here into one piece, which of course forms Rodimus Prime's rifle. So really your personal preference, whichever way you like it. And here's his little Target Master buddy. His Target Master buddy actually is really good. He's got head articulation there, rotates, bends there at the elbow, in and out at the elbow, shoulder articulation, knee articulation, top of the leg articulation. I mean, for a tiny figure, this guy is really well articulated. Really cool. And you saw the gun version of him in the vehicle mode portion of this review. And of course, he can hold his rifle, but you're about to see the issue with that. He does not... It's difficult to get him to hold it well. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just going to do this off camera, because it takes a little finesse to get this thing into his hand and have him hold on to it. Oh, come on. And this kind of illustrates what I mean. The rifle just kind of came apart, so I'm just trying to get his pistol mount. There we go. His pistol into his hand. And that kind of demonstrates right there kind of the issues with this figure. It's, like I said, he looks real good functionality-wise. He's not the greatest. And to me, that's major points against a Masterpiece toy. Would I say he's worth owning? Yeah, I would say overall, he's definitely still worth it to have him, because he is a nice figure. Nice looking figure anyway, and he is pretty much as close to a definitive G1 Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime that we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get a better representation of this character, at least from any official release. Now, if you can get, I wouldn't pay a lot of money for him though. If you can find him on the secondary market for under $100, I'd say he's worth picking up. I've seen some on eBay for under $100, so you might be able to find them for that. I would steer clear of the Takara version, because it's pretty darn expensive on the secondary market. Get the Hasbro version if you are going to get them. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry for all of the goof ups and slip ups in this video. Thanks for having patience. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you next time.